It's very, it's very weird. Are you going to take your scholars or not? Your mic.
Let me jump in and ask a question before you all can respond. And then I'm going to, we're going to have 10 minutes to go. And those who want to call in, if you have questions for either side, now is the time to call in. If you have a question at 347-326-9268. If you do have a question, we want you to call in with that question. And we'll try to take them as quickly as possible. There again, I do want to ask the Muslim representatives a question. The Quran states that man is formed from the drop that is emitted from between the backbone and the ribs. Is that a true statement?
Yes, it's a true statement as you have read it in the Quran, and that you can see the reference of what's known as somatogenesis. And really, I didn't want to go through what is a somite and how somites are formed and how the testicles are formed.
Okay, but here's the point.
Kidney and all of it, and then the distance of the testicles
that's fine. We won't have to go through all the development.
Right, we can go through this explanation, it's no problem.
I just want you to admit.
But I don't think you have, I don't know if you have that scientific knowledge or Mr. Prince have that scientific knowledge. Actually, it's very, very detailed. And again, like I said, it's not only one verse. If one verse is giving some confusion for some people.
Well, I just wanted to. One moment, please. I just wanted you to admit. I just want you to admit and agree with me to the listening audience, because everybody is listening to what's being said. You just agreed and affirmed where the Quran states that man is formed from the drop that is emitted from between the backbone and the ribs. I stated earlier to you that drops are not in the human body; they're outside of it. So even if that was the case, you still wouldn't have drops in the body. The drops, first and second of all, the reason that's a contradiction or that's an error, and the drops, this is a little medical terminology here, but the drops, the liquid, is not formed in embryonic development and does not begin that development until the testicle begins to mature. And that occurs after the birth of the baby and after the testicles have descended out of the body. So therefore, the Quran is incorrect in its statement that a person is formed from a drop that is emitted from between the backbone and the body. That's incorrect.
And I beg to differ, sir, because you are not reading the Quran. You are reading your mind. And I'm going to tell you this verse clearly as he read it earlier. إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ. أَمَّا مِن نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ. That means a drop of mingled sperm. Now, since our beloved brother want to always refer back to what the scholar said, this is what the scholar says about this verse. As you may read with me, or you may listen and hear well. It says, Amshajin, mingled, because the female ovum has to be fertilized with the male sperm before a new animal, he refers to man as animal, meaning a being, can be born. So therefore, the drop you were talking about, and I just corrected you, the word drop in English does not mean something coming outside all the time. It means a little or volume of a liquid, wherever it may be in the human body, can be called a drop. And that is your American English telling you the meaning of drop. So why do you want to grasp on the word of drop as if you were dropping water from the bottle? This is how you look at it. But remember, this is your own interpretation, but the Quran does not mean what you are saying.
Our own interpretation.
Okay, listen.
That is right.
First, I want you
And it's wrong. Go ahead, Christian Prince.
I want you. He is the one.
Prince, I need to make your point. We're going to take some phone calls.
He is the one who mentioned chapter 76, verse number 2. This is Ibn Kathir in front of me. It says the water of the man and the water of the women. The women, she don't have a water, sir. The egg is not a water. And when your God Allah say the water of the man and the water of the women, read Ibn Kathir with me. I'm posting the link. This is not my explanation. Don't tell me you're English. I am an Arabic-speaking man. This is my native language. I grew all my life in the Middle East. It says, this is Ibn Kathir saying, أمشاج أخلاط والمشي والمشيج الشيء بعضه في بعض, which means it's mixed together. قال ابن عباس في قوله تعالى من نطفة أمشاج يعني ماء الرجل وماء المرأة. Let me continue, please. So it is the water of the women and the water of the man. It is equal water. What is equal to the water of the man? It is the water of the women. It is the water of the women and the water of the man. It is equal water. What is equal to the water of the man? It is the water of the women.
What do you mean ma means water or liquid?
Listen. Ma according to the Quran. Okay, what? Listen, please listen. What is the water of the man? It is a sperm. Don't you agree? The water of the man is a
something you can drink and you call it water? Can you drink sperm?
Come on. And here we are not talking about, nobody is going to drink a sperm, man. We're talking about creating a baby.
So why do you want to focus on the word water instead of understanding the meaning that we want to make over here?
Okay, listen. This is the word. This is what it says, not me. Do you want me to change the word for you? If I change it, you will say, see, you are changing the word. The word water of the man, it's what? It is his milk or his sperm? Come on. And read with the explanation. You are the one who, the fluid, it's the water of the man, it's equal water. Water of the man, water of the woman. What is the water of the man? Simply the sperm. And actually the Quran mentioned many places saying nutfa, saying the word clearly. Nutfa, which is a sperm, not only water. So in here it's mentioned as water, in many other places it's mentioned as a nutfa. And now, what is the water of the women? This is the question. It's going to create a baby. The women, she don't have a water, will create a baby. The egg is not it's not a water. It is one egg, not millions. She is not a chicken. Actually, even chicken have one. She is not a fish. She have one egg, and the man has a sperm. The sperm, they are water. It is millions of sperm. They go and they do that. And I want him, look for how long I'm asking him to read Ibn Kathir. He rejects, he don't want to read. Because Ibn Kathir is saying even that it's coming from the chest, they don't want to read their scholars. And he is going, is it funny that he is going to mention to us the American science, but he don't want to read his own scholars' explanation. He don't want to read his own verse, but he want to go and say, it's safe, you don't understand.
Great, wonderful. Since you really like the term water, let us talk to you in this way. Now, when you open the egg, if you have the chance, or would you tell me what is in the egg of the woman? Is it a liquid, a fluid, or what is it?
Guys, let me jump in. Hold up. Let me jump in. Here.
Just wait.
I want to thank you all.
Just wait. Please, just wait.
He just phone calls. That we need to take these calls real quick here and let them come in and say what they have to say. We're going to open up the phone lines now and let the callers, 602, you can address your question to either Christian Prince, the Christian representative, Christian scholar, or you can address your question 602. Once 602 is done with this question, we'll go to 302, and then we'll go to 442, 973, and 360. We're going to take the call order. If you have noise in the background, please take the noise out because I would not be able to do anything after that point. The switchboard would be off. So 602, go ahead.
Yes. Is this me? Can I ask my question?
Yeah, go ahead. Question 602.
Okay, I hope you guys don't mind me changing the subject for a second. My question goes out to, I guess both can I'd like to get an answer from both sides. My question is pretty easy. I'd like to know how many days it took Allah in the Quran to create the heavens and the earth, because there's two different contradictions. Maybe Christian Prince knows of it, I'm sure. And there goes my question, and this is Son of Abe, by the way.
Okay. Well, I will, first there's two chapters in the Quran. One is saying that it took Allah 6 days, and other verse it took Allah 8 days. But before I give the mic back to, and if you want, we can give the reference. We can show those reference. But I would like people to concentrate on our topic, the one we are talking about, so we can finish it before we go to the different topic. And I promise you, after we finish this one, we will go to the topic, which is, how many days Allah created the earth, 6 or. But in here, I want the brother, our host, to remember what our guest he said, that he agreed that the fluid of the man is the egg. And now let us ask ourselves very easy question. As long as he agreed that this is the water of the egg inside the egg, is the egg of the woman coming from her ribs? Come on. And what the water inside the egg has to do? And by the way, the water inside the egg, I never heard of the water inside the egg. But if we say that this is the water, is that gushing fluid water? Is that coming from her rib? The Muslims, they will do whatever just to hide the truth. This is how always they do it, and this is why they do not agree right now with their scholars, because their scholars is the one who's going to show the truth. But suddenly, their scholars, they knew nothing, but someone, he do not know anything about Islam. Are you equal to Ibn Kathir? He would say, today he is equal to Ibn Kathir, today he is better. But if you ask him in the mosque, he will say, A'udhu Billah, I am not equal to Ibn Kathir. He knows a lot better than me. Are you equal to Ibn Taymiyyah? Are you equal to Al-Razi, the scientist Al-Razi? He will say, today he is better than Al-Razi. But when he go to the mosque, he will say, A'udhu Billah, I'm not equal to Al-Razi. So what we are seeing here, that somebody doesn't want to confess and say,
What's the question?
What the question?
Yeah. What's
Well,
the question?
somebody forgot the question, huh? Okay. The question is, somebody asked you, said, how many days Allah took him to create the earth?
Yeah,
How many days Allah? Yeah. Take a mic, please. You can answer.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he talks about days, it talks about days in a different concept than you and I would understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the day of judgment. Is that one day as in 24 hours? Is this one day as in on the Vulcan calendar? Is this one day on the lunar calendar? It's whatever Allah's day has decreed for it to be. So whether Allah says 6 days, or whether Allah says 8 days, whether Allah says 4 days, whether Allah says 2 days, the knowledge of these days is only with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not with me, and it's not with you, and it's not with any person who's following the solar system, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not bounded by the solar system. So if it's mentioned in one place 6 days, and it's mentioned in another place 8 days, we still don't know if these days are 50,000 years, or one day is 1,000 years. We don't know. This is, as Muslims, and everybody will say, Ibn Kathir will tell you this, Al-Razi will tell you this, Ibn Taymiyyah will tell you this, that this knowledge, the knowledge of human being is only limited by the information that's present at that time. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about days, it
I got
does
a
not
question.
mean
Let me jump
the
in here.
same days that you and I understand them.
Okay.
But this
Let
is
me
not the
jump
question,
in
actually.
here.
This is not the question.
Got a quick
Just
question for the
a
brother.
second, please. A second, please. The question is, how many days Allah, He said He created the earth and the sky. We are not asking how long or those days. If Allah, He said 6 days in this chapter and He says 8 days in that chapter, this is a contradiction. Because those are days for Allah. We are not asking Allah right now how long, how short they are. Either they are 6, either they are 8. This is a very clear contradiction. Now regarding how long is the day, you will see in the Quran, one verse saying that you are mentioning the last day, the judgment day. But the Quran says to us one day for Allah, the normal day. How long it is? It says, يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ ثُمَّ يُعَرِّجُ إِلَيْهِ فَإِنْ كَانَ مِقْدَارُهُ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ. It is 1,000 year in our time equal to one day for Allah. This is the regular day. The day of the judgment, according to you, is the one is going to be 50,000 years. So we are not questioning now how long, how short it is. This is not the question. The question, one chapter saying 6 days, one chapter saying 8 days, and this is a very clear contradiction. Because days for Allah is equal, is the same. Those are the days of Allah. We are not, and isn't it funny always when the Muslims, we say to them something, it's very clear, it's contradiction, they say, only Allah knows. So how you are a Muslim? You do not know anything. So why Allah is telling you even the days, if nobody will know anyway? What's the idea? Go ahead, sir.
Well, we are Muslim by the grace of Allah. That's why we are Muslims. And again, the answer is still in
The idea. Go ahead, sir.
Well, we are Muslim by the grace of Allah. That's why we are Muslims. And again, the answer is still in the pudding. And that is that whenever Allah talks about days, just like you mentioned, that there are some days that are 1,000 years, there are some other days that are 50,000 years, and there's some other days that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not mention how long they are.
Let me ask you a question.
And then there's the day of judgment. Let me say, there is the day of judgment where it talks about يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلِ السَّمَاءُ بِغَيْرِ السَّمَاء, which means that the whole order of this universe that we have is going to change. So
let me ask you a question.
We cannot limit these days. We
Let me
cannot
ask you a
tell
question.
about these days. Alhamdulillah, Alameen. We humbly say that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Since we talked about days here, then I'm going to go to the next call. The Quran says the Bible is not corrupt. Will you agree?
Say it again.
Say this again.
The Quran says the Bible is not corrupt.
That's correct.
Is not corrupt.
Yeah, the
Is that what
Quran
you're
says
saying?
the Bible is not corrupt.
Are you quoting the Quran or are you asking a question?
Yeah, I'm saying to you, the Quran says the Bible is not corrupt.
Tell me the verse. Tell me exactly where Allah says in the Quran that the Bible is not corrupt or corrupt. Tell me.
Okay, the Bible, the Quran says that the Book of Moses, the Psalms, and the Gospels were all given by God in Surah 287, also in 41663, and also in Surah 33 and 546. It says about the Torah in 287. We gave Moses the book and followed him up with a succession of messengers. So the Quran says that the book of Moses are not corrupt. My point is this: in Genesis chapter 1, it tells us that in 6 literal solar days, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, if you're saying that one day could mean 10,000 years or 5,000 years, then we have a clear contradiction. The Quran is contradicting what the Bible says, because the Bible makes it very clear that the evening and the morning were the first day. It didn't say anything about 1,000 years, 10,000 years. But if the Quran says that the book of Moses and the Psalms and the Gospel were all given by God, and the Quran says some contradiction to that about creation, the creation account, then we have a conflict of interest here. We have a contradiction somewhere here. Either we go with the Genesis account of creation that gives a 6 solar day, literal days of creation, 24-hour day, ended by the session of evening and morning, or we go by what the Quran says.
Actually, brother, just let me give you a hadith.
Excuse me, if we may answer to what...
And then we're going to go to the next caller. We're going to take the next call, too.
Yeah, just to help you in the answer. This is Al-Qurtubi. It's saying it clearly. This is your scholar. 1 day for Allah is equal to 1,000. 6 days equal to 6,000. I will post the link for them so they can open and read. This is Al-Qurtubi explanation, chapter 7, verse number 54. So if your scholar saying this agreeing with us, I don't know why you are rejecting your scholars. It sounds like you are creating a new religion. Your scholars suddenly, they know nothing about Islam, but you know more than them. This is the link. I want everybody to open it and read it. So how come, as we see now, the scholars of Islam agree with us, but they don't agree with the Muslims? Like, one of you have to be wrong. This is mean that you are a scholar, and all the scholars of Islam from today, they knew nothing. Thank you.
And once again...
Next call. Let's take the next caller. Next caller had a question, too. We're going to go down the line and take the calls. The next caller, go ahead, next caller. I can't see my switchboard, so don't everybody go at the same time. Comment, I think you can hear me. I know you're online. Comment, do you have a question for either side? Go ahead. Okay, if not, then the next caller can go ahead with your question.
Hello, it's my turn?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to ask a quick question about Allah. What is Allah? Allah is like a human being, or is it not like a human being? Is he got spirit in it, or is it not spirit? Could you please explain on it? Can I repeat my question, or?
Now we heard the question. Is Allah a human being or not? Is that your question?
No. He's saying he's a spirit or not a spirit. What he is. He's a spirit or not a spirit. This is the question. He is a spirit. He has a spirit.
You can answer that. It's the same God, right?
No, we don't have the same God. Your God is not our God, sir. Your God, according to the Quran, he has no spirit. He is not a spirit. And he has a leg. And actually, all what we see in the God of Islam, if we go to Surah Al-Qalam, we will see nothing except a leg. He have hands, he have eyes, but all of them, they are attached to his leg. And he is not a spirit, and he have no spirit. So, your God, Allah, cannot be our God, because our God is a spirit, your God is not. Your God is a leg. And honestly, none of us is going to worship a leg. And if you want me to show you a clear explanation from your prophet that your God, Allah, in the judgment day, show himself as a leg, I will be happy to show you that. Let me give you the hadith.
Well, again, the answer to this is according to Prince, with all respect to him, with all his knowledge about Islam, he's saying that our Lord, our Allah, our Creator, the Creator of the heaven and the earth, the one who Jesus said, according to the biblical, Ilahi, Ilahi, lima sabbahtani, my Lord, that he has reduced him to a leg. Well, thank you, but we humbly disagree with you on this. And Allah, whether you like it or you don't, my Allah and your Allah, He's the one who created you. He's the one who created the whole earth and whatever is on it. And what is Allah? We don't know what is Allah. Is He spirit? Does He, whatever He says about Himself, whether He has an eye, He has an eye that fits His glory. And
thank you very much for raising this. I think you have a leg, don't you?
Well, but according to Muslims,
excuse me, and let me just finish. And if you believe you have a leg, I believe also the dog has a leg. So are you equal to a dog? No. But you still believe you are a human being. Now you have an eye. And of course, the snake has an eye. Are you a snake? You are not a snake, you are a human being. Therefore, the attributes of God as His attributes can never, ever be compared to any other attribute of that which he has created and brought into existence. And I will defeat anybody who can prove from the Quran that God is elect. Get me the verse right now, and I'm going to read it to the audience as they may follow your word.
Okay, let me prove that to him. Let me prove that to him.
Let me ask this question. Are you saying that God is not spirit?
Okay, you as a human being, do you have a spirit? Hold on, Mr. Moderator. No, you know, when you teach sometimes, it is very good to take example from the person right in front of you, because that's what they may understand.
What you're saying. Not cutting you off, but I understand what you're saying about human being. I'm not asking questions not directed towards human being. My question is, are you saying that God is not spirit?
My question to you, as an answer to your question, is you as a human being, do you have spirit?
What does that have to do with me being God? I'm not God.
Because you are a product coming from the creation, as a creature of God. Then we may understand God better. And if you answer to that question, I'll give you a direct answer to your question.
My point is, if God is not spirit, when the Bible said God is spirit, then my question to you will be, if the Quran said God is not spirit, then what is God?
God is a spirit and a physical being at the same time. And now, that's why, hold on, Mr. Moderator, now you have to listen when you ask a question. This is why I was referring back to you as a human being thinking, asking you, what are you?
Be clear on this. You stated that God is spirit and physicality, right?
God has a physical being, but his physical being, his attributes are mentioned in the Quran, but he has nothing to do with what he has created as far as comparison is concerned. You can't compare him to what he has created. He is nothing like what he has created. With what he has created as far as comparison is concerned. You can't compare him to what he has created. He is nothing like what he has created. Therefore,
all right, let me ask something here, because we get somewhere. Okay. If God, first of all, if God is pure existence, pure simplicity, meaning that he has no potentiality at all, no possibility to not exist or to be anything other than what he is, pure existence and simple. Now, if there was any physicality to God, then he would be undergoing change.
Why is that?
You follow my point?
No.
If you say God is pure existence, a pure actuality, he has no potential of any kind.
Mm-hmm. You see, I can prove what you're saying using your Bible, but that's not the topic today. Now, anything, it is not demonstrated, not scientifically or physically, that anything that exists will have to go through changes. No. And you cannot prove that anything that exists will have to go through changes. That's one thing. And now you and I, as beings that are not perfect at all, of course, a perfect being as God would not be seen to us as I look at you or look at myself or anybody else. Okay. Because he is perfect. That's why he is... Hold on, excuse me, please.
Can I have my time? We got your point.
No, you don't get it yet. You don't get it yet.
We get it. You are saying, please, you are speaking for 5 minutes. I did not speak. I'm waiting.
You don't get my point yet. Let me finish.
Okay, no, we got your point. My turn. Okay, listen. He is saying that Allah, he has a physical body. He is saying Allah, he has a physical body, but his body is not like you.
Body. I did not say body, sir.
What is it then? You said physical. What is physical? Physical liquid?
I said being, not body.
Okay, listen. When you're a prophet, he said Allah will show his leg. You just said you have a leg. The dog have a leg. Is that mean you are a dog? You agreed that Allah he has a leg. That leg is physical or it is a liquid. I want you to open please this hadith with me and read. You're a prophet there is speaking. This is the book 93, the Hadith al-Bukhari, verse number 5. Hadith number 532s. Read it. You will see your prophet describing, saying, you will be able to see Allah. They said, how we will see Allah? He said, the same as you see the moon and the sun in the sky. When it's clear, this is how easy. And they said, what we will see in him? What is the sign? He said, you will see his leg. He will show his leg. So Allah, he has a leg, and this leg has to be something physical. And you just agreed that Allah is physical being. Physical being. And the Quran said that Allah, he is going to show his leg. Now if I ask you, Allah, he has a hand, he has a leg, he has an eye. You will say to me, okay, he has a body, but his body is not like yours. His leg, and this is what you was trying to say to me a second ago, when you said, okay, you know what? The dog, he has a leg. Are you a dog? You know? So you are comparing your God to us, trying to prove to us that the leg of Allah is not the same as the leg of us. This is not the problem. Your God, Allah, he has nothing except a leg. He is a leg. If I ask you, do Allah have a neck? You will say no. Do Allah have a chest? You will say no. With my respect to you, I'm not trying to insult. Do Allah have a waist or a butt? You will say no. So what is left? He is a leg. There is nothing left out of this God except a leg, have 2 hands, and 5 fingers. And you will see in Sahih al-Bukhari, your prophet saying that Allah will carry the earth in the top of his 5 fingers. So he had a physical fingers. He had a real leg. And if you know, I want you to remember that this show is recorded, and all the Muslims, they are going to listen to you again. When you say that Allah, he don't have a physical body, Muslims will come to you and say, from where you got that? Do you have a proof? I am asking you right now for the proof. I am showing my proof, which is Sahih al-Bukhari, from your prophet, saying that your God, Allah, has a physical body for real, and it is a leg. We ask him, are we going to see God? He did not say you will see him, part of him. He said you will see Allah. How? He will show his leg. So what is
I'm going
Allah?
to read the hadith for you, and I'm sorry. The hadith is saying, أنتم سترون ربكم يوم القيامة كما ترون القمر ليلة البدر. That's the hadith you were referring to. We know it very well. Now, God has a leg. God has hands. God has fingers.
Listen, please.
Hold on, sir. You have to listen now if you want to learn.
No, brother, listen. Yeah, just this way. Read the hadith after. Sorry, I mentioned by mistake this hadith. This is hadith number 532C, not S. C.
I know the hadith you were referring. That's why you have to
read that one, please.
You don't get
read that one, please.
Listen to me.
Okay.
You have to listen.
Okay.
We believe that God, all these that he has mentioned in the Quran, or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has mentioned in the hadith, authentic hadith, those attributes are true, and we believe in them as they are, as it is mentioned by Allah and his messenger. Now, I asked you yourself earlier to show you that I'm not comparing God with you. I said to you that you have a leg and a dog has a leg, but you cannot compare yourself with a dog. That's what I'm saying. Now, do not put words in my mouth. I did not say God has a body. I say a physical being, because you and I have not seen God yet, and inshallah we will see him yawm al-qiyamati. As the Prophet said, inshallah ta'ala. Now you just listen now and let me conclude inshallah for this question. Now, for what you mentioned, it is true that those attributes are attributes of God. But if you are taking those references, why can't you take the other reference that says, Laysa kamithlihi shay'un wa huwa as-sami'ul basir? Allah,
I just told you.
Hold on. You have to hold on now and listen. Allah, there is nothing like him, as he is all hearing and all seeing.
One moment. Let me jump in here. I got your point. Let me jump here and say, because I think I think that you're trying to have it both ways. Islam is trying to have it both ways. First of all, you state that God is absolutely simplicity. The Quran says
that's your words. That's your words, sir, not my words.
Okay, but let me state this here. God is absolutely simple. God is simplicity. In other words, when I say that God is absolutely simple, God is simplicity, I'm saying to you that simple means without parts. That's what I'm saying. Simple means without parts. So what has parts can come apart. So if you say that God has parts, then what has parts can come apart. Simple means indivisible. God is not capable of being divided. There are no seams in God. There is no place in which the fabric of his being can be torn or come undone. God's simplicity means that he is absolutely one. Not only does he have unity, but he is absolute unity. You see? So therefore, you cannot contribute parts to God.
Now, great. And I once again, for the people listening, and I'm sorry, dear brother, just for people listening, you said you used the word simple and simplicity, and whatever words you use, it did not come out of our mouth. We said that God
I'm just making my case.
Okay, wonderful.
Terminology, so
Mr. Moderator,
we can understand.
Mr. Moderator, you
mentioned the fact that God is not capable of being divided, and God does not consist of parts. That God is pure existence, pure actuality.
I'm saying to you,
God has no potentiality.
I'm saying to you that God is perfect. Now, if something is perfect, or one is perfect, and you said absolute, the word absolute means a lot.
Hold one moment.
The leg of Allah, just a second please. The leg of Allah, he's saying to us, the leg of Allah is perfect.
I think at least I should finish my point before you take the floor.
You are taking your time more than me. Actually, he's giving you time more than you, more than me.
You don't have answers. I'm the one who has answers. That's why I should take my time.
Just wait. I want you to read the hadith I gave you after this one, because this one will explain. This is your prophet himself. I understand that you show respect to your prophet. So let us go and see what your prophet is saying. Whatever your prophet is saying, he is right. Or what you are saying to us, Allah, he has a leg, but his leg is not like yours. Allah is not like anyone. I'm not asking you if he like me or not. The leg is a leg. Why Allah, he called it a leg? Simply because it's a leg, which means he walk. A leg, why he did not say a wing? Why he did not say an eye? Why he did not say a nose? He is the one who named that part. He gave you after this one, because this one will explain. This is your prophet himself. I understand that you show respect to your prophet. So let us go and see what your prophet is saying. Whatever your prophet is saying, he is right. Or what you are saying to us, Allah, he has a leg, but his leg is not like yours. Allah is not like anyone. I'm not asking you if he like me or not. The leg is a leg. Why Allah, he called it a leg? Simply because it's a leg, which means he walk. A leg, why he did not say a wing? Why he did not say an eye? Why he did not say a nose? He is the one who named that part. He is the one who gave it a name and the title, not me. So you don't come after me saying to me, oh, you cannot use it as a leg as you think. Well, he is the one who used it, not me. He called it a leg, it means it's a leg. So you Muslims, to run from what your God is saying, you have to play around the word, say, oh, you know what, it's not like a leg like yours, I don't care. This is not the question. Maybe it's a beautiful leg, maybe it's the most amazing leg, but it is a leg. Who named it a leg? It's your God. Who explained it as a leg? It's your prophet, and it's not up to you to say, well, this leg is different. No problem. I'm not saying my leg is the same. Well, my leg has a lot of hair. This is not the question. I'm not comparing myself to your God, Allah, sir. I am not saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think you want to focus on words and play with words, and that's not how we approach. When it comes to reading the words of God, that's not how we approach things. Unfortunately, we do not play with words. You want to prove to me that my Lord, who is your creator and your protector, your sustainer, your provider, you
He is
want
not my Lord.
to reduce him, you want to reduce him to a leg and want to focus on the word leg. Now,
It's not me. It's your
if I may
Quran.
ask, and this time I'm not referring to God, but is there any leg that has an eye or hands or fingers? No.
This is why
it
Allah.
is not
This is what. No, no,
something you
listen.
can
This is,
please,
brother, listen.
yes,
This
let
is
me-
why
let
Allah.
me
This is
finish.
why Allah is not like any leg.
Let me
This
finish
is why-
because I think you said earlier that you went to school, and part of what you learn in school is to learn how to listen. And I
It's
want
an Arabic
to make my
school
point
anyway.
before
It's an
you.
Arabic
before
school.
you-
An Arabic
you go
school
ahead.
don't teach us that.
Now, okay, wonderful, great. Now, I'm saying you want to reduce him to that, but you are not quoting the Quran, saying the Quran reduced him to a leg. That's what I'm saying. And what I told you and Mr. the moderator earlier is that God is a being with attributes far from looking like his creatures' attributes. He is the absolute being and the beginning of everything. So why do you want to go ahead and give an image to him like what you have, as you have not seen him and still cannot sense the being of God as a perfect and absolute being? Now let us be
Great.
frank and let
Let
us
me
be
answer.
also open as intellectuals in order to debate this clearly. What I want you to do is, if you cannot compare yourself with a dog or a monkey, why do you want to reduce God as a perfect being to a leg, as he mentioned in the Quran or in the Hadith that he has a leg or an eye or a hand or fingers? Why do you want to do to God what you do not accept to yourself, as he is perfect and you are not perfect?
Great.
Now let
me
us use
answer you.
our
Let me
common
answer you.
sense and debate this.
Okay, let me answer you. First, I am not the one who compare myself to anyone. It's your God. When he named his leg as a leg, he did put himself in a title, not me. I am not the one who named his part as a leg. It was him. Ask your God why he called it a leg if it's not a leg. So it's a leg, but it's not a leg. But this leg don't look like a leg. But this leg is different from your leg, but it's a leg. But so you are playing with the word, and you are saying, can you compare your leg with a dog? Yes, you can. You can say this is a leg of a human, this is a leg of a dog. This is a short leg, hairy, it looks like a leg of a dog. This is a leg of a human. We can compare. Who said we cannot? We can compare as long both as they are legs. It doesn't make me really a dog. It doesn't make him a human, but both are legs and we can compare. We can count how many bones they have. We can make a study, and this is how we can make it. This is the leg of a human. This is the leg of a dog. You think you can, you are insulting by saying,
you are
Let
comparing
me
yourself.
jump in, guys. Let me jump in.
I
Let me
think you
jump
are
in
an Arab
and,
and you know what
let's take
al-ism
another-
wal
let's take another call.
musammayat means in Arabic.
Let me jump in. Let's take another call real quick, see what that questions are. Go ahead, caller. The next caller, go ahead.
Is that me?
Yes, you. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a question for the Muslims. You said that there was no science known in that time about embryology. Well, actually, there was a Greek doctor in 150 A.D. with the last name of Galen, I believe, that had a theory much similar, if not almost identical, to Muhammad's. But I would also like to read you something out of the Bible, which is in the book of Job, which is over probably 1,000 years older than Muhammad. That it does talk about embryology, if you want to play with words like you guys like to do. Hast thou not poured me out as milk and curdled me like cheese? Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and sinews. So, and actually in the Quran, if you read the part about the bones, it says the bones comes first and then the flesh does, but the Bible actually gets it right by saying the flesh and the skin comes first. And I'm going to hang up and let you guys answer because my phone's almost dead. Is that all right?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. First of all, in order to answer to your question, I'm not saying that embryology was not there when the Quran was written. I'm saying science was not developed enough in order to explain things as they explain it today. And this is why the scientists most of them, they refer to the Quran, mainly to those verses talking about how a human being is created, in order to say, yes, in the 7th century, the answer was there, but science was not as developed as to bring the explanation to that which was mentioned in the Quran. And that also is a miracle, to show that Quran came not for a particular time only, not for a particular group of human beings, not also for particular circumstances, but for all mankind, all times, until the end of time. While, and I'm not going to jump in other books, but I'm just talking about the Quran. And today in science, they have gone so far, mainly in the chapter Al-Mu'minun, the believer, in the very first verses, when Allah describes the sequences of human development or the embryo, then you can see that science could not, of course, answer to all those questions at the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And Jesus was there 563 years before Muhammad, peace be upon him. Therefore, even if the Bible mentions it, I'm saying to you that the knowledge was in the scriptures, but science was not developed enough in order to explain that knowledge which existed in the scriptures, if I may answer your question.
Okay, let me make my part, please. Let me make my part. Just a second, please. First, the verse he mentioned.
He said science.
Muslims, they have all the okay. For sure, they are American science. Trust me. They will give you any name you want. But this is not the question. Chapter 76. The chapter he mentioned about the nutfa. It says clearly that Allah, He created the human being from a clot, and that clot became the baby. Clot don't grow. Clot, they are dead blood, and they will never grow. This is chapter 23, verse number 40. It says, ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظما فكسونا العظام لحما. And it's very funny that the Muslims right away, they will give you, scholars said, scholars agreed, scholars, you know what, this is something you can learn in 6th grade school. You do not need to be a scholar. You do not need to be a doctor. A clot will never become a baby. And the bones don't come first and then the flesh. And the sperm will never become a clot anyway. Because the sperm, when he...
Hello? Hello?
Seems like we lost Christian Prince. Are you there?
He's not there anymore, but probably his radio is on and he may hear what I'm going to say. And I'm going to read the verses.
Let's find out. Is anybody else on? Is anybody else on?
We're still on anyway.
I still hear. I know my guest is on.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you all.
Okay, great.
Let me ask, do I have another caller? My switchboard went out. Is there another caller with another question? Okay. I think we might have lost connection. That's not good.
But you're still recording. They may hear this later.
I don't know what happened here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I think we lost connection. I think I lost Christian friends. Hey, I think we might have lost connection. That's not good.
But you're still recording. They may hear this later.
I don't know what happened here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I think we lost connection. I think I lost Christian friends.
Yeah, try him again because I want him to hear this.
Okay, hold tight here. Do we have any more callers on the line holding? I want to make sure it's just not Christian Prince. Okay. I don't know what happened there. It seemed like I lost Christian Prince. Guys, a great segment. It was a good discussion on both sides. I'm going to try to get them back in.
Well, I really wanted him to hear these verses as he started mentioning these verses, but he really don't get the meaning. And if he was still recording, probably he will go back and listen to this broadcasting again in order to see the answer to the question.
Okay. Let me see, can I get Prince?
Then you let me know if I may go ahead, okay?
Okay. Let me type a message. I'm going to have to put him on conference call. Okay. Okay.
Where you at, Bubba? Almost.
Hello? Hello?
Moderator?
Hello?
Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to make
Okay, but pay attention also to the time. It's past the 2 hours past 11 minutes now, and if we could just make this point and then probably call it a day. Okay.
All right, let's see here. One moment here.
Christian Prince, are you there?
Hmm?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Can y'all hear Christian Prince?
Okay, sorry guys, I lost my phone hung up and I could not call again, so I'm using a different phone now. Anyway, so I was saying.
It's all right.
I was saying. Let me finish what I was saying. Just to finish. The Prophet of Islam and the scholars of Islam explain, and they say to us clearly that Allah he has a physical body, and all what you are saying to us, you are trying not to say yes he do. We can prove and we can show. And actually, I'm posting the hadith in front of everybody, so everybody can go and see it by himself. It says clearly that Allah will show his leg. All what you are saying to us, the leg of Allah.
No, you're missing the point. That's not where we were, sir. We already discussed that. We were talking about the creation, and we were trying to answer to the question of that caller.
Right.
So you're just stepping back.
Oh, okay, sorry. I forgot that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. The Quran says that Allah created from the sperm will turn to be a clot. If you open with me chapter 23, the verse number 14, the one you mentioned, not me. You are the one who chose that one, not me. This is, I will post Ibn Kathir explanation, and I will post the translation made by Muslims for Muslims. And you will see that it says clearly that the sperm itself turned to be a clot. And this is very wrong. Number one, the sperm never turned to be anything. The sperm, after activation, the egg, it dies. It doesn't stay alive. And according to the verse, you are posting to us, or you are mentioning to us, you are saying that this sperm will turn to a clot. Let me pause the verse, and they will post it for everybody in the radio show, so everybody can read with us. This is the verse, chapter 23, verse number 14. It says clearly, it's read for you in English. Then we made the sperm into a clot of congealed blood. Now, I want to ask you, according to which science in the world the sperm will turn to be a clot? The sperm. There is no egg in there. This is number one. Secondly, in here it's speaking only about the sperm. So, if you connect this verse to other verses in the Quran, the one we mentioned, about the sperm of the man and the sperm of the woman, this is a proof that Allah even considered the women water is a sperm too, proving our point in the other side. But the main thing in here, the main mistake is how the sperm turned into clot, and that clot is a completed blood. Can you explain to us?
Yes.
Okay. If you may read it again, because it is not saying the sperm to a clot, but into. And the word into refers to a process. If you may follow me, to and into are different in grammar, in English. Now, into is a process, meaning the sperm goes through a process. What is that process? In order to be turned to a clot, which is, of course, of congealed blood. That's the point you're missing. You want to make the sperm a clot, while the Quran is telling you into a clot, meaning going through a process. And that process is the process of the sperm being introduced to the egg, and that then the fertilization will come and go through that process in order to make a clot. And once again, the word into is important, as you may hear from my brother Nabil.
You see, after the process of fertilization, and that is the joining of what's called the pronucleus with the germinal reticle of the follicle, this is when you get fertilization. Then you have what's called the 246, 248, and then the blastula. The blastula stage, then the morula stage, then the blastocyst. The blastocyst is what would be congealed blood, because it's all made from what's called the blood islets that are present on the outside of the blastula, and also the inner cell mass, which is also made from blood islets of it. So in fact, there is no better description about this process better than the one that's present in the Quran. There is no better description of what the science now has confirmed that's present in the Quran, if you really understood what was in the Quran.
Okay, thank you. Well, I want you to open with me, please, Ibn Kathir.
I
want you to open with me,
Ibn
Kathir.
Why you always want to go tell me back you want to go to Ibn Kathir?
What's wrong with Ibn Kathir? Ibn Kathir now is a Jewish guy.
When you use Ibn Kathir, you have to be on the level of Ibn Kathir. And then you have to pick somebody else and put...
It's my turn to answer, please.
Ibn Kathir doesn't understand what the blastocyst was. Ibn Kathir doesn't know what the morula was.
Mr. Nabil, please. Okay. No, suddenly...
all of that.
You don't want me to talk? Suddenly, Ibn Kathir knows nothing, and you are a scholar more than him. You are saying to me now, listen, can I talk? We can talk at the same time. Ibn Kathir for you now. Suddenly, Ibn Kathir, let me talk, please.
But don't tell me God is leg, because that's what you're going to do.
You don't want me to talk. You are trying to shut me up.
But I don't want you to tell me
listen, how come Ibn Kathir agree with me? How come all Islamic scholars agree with me? What's wrong with Ibn Kathir? How Ibn Kathir suddenly, let me speak. Suddenly, Ibn Kathir,
because you were looking for something that is going to be, that fits your own.
Let me talk, please. Let me talk. You don't want people to hear, and there are people, they are listening, they are judging. I am giving a proof. The scholars of Islam agree with me, not with you. When you gave me the explanation now, your brother, he said, into, right? Read with me, Ibn Kathir, he is saying the following, that the nutfa, read with me please, I give you the link, I hope they are posting it for you, I want you to open with me. Read with me please. It says, and Islamic scholars agree with me. What's wrong with Ibn Kathir? How Ibn Kathir suddenly, let me see. Suddenly Ibn Kathir
is because you were looking for something that is going to be that fits your own.
Let me talk, please. Let me talk. You don't want people to hear, and there are people, they are listening, they are judging. I am giving a proof. The scholars of Islam agree with me, not with you. When you gave me the explanation now, your brother, he said, into, right? Read with me, Ibn Kathir, he is saying the following, that the nutfa, read with me please, I give you the link, I hope they are posting it for you, I want you to open with me. Read with me please. It says, and then we make the cloth into a little loom, and then he says, we made the nutfa into a cloth. So he made the nutfa itself a cloth. This is very wrong. The cloth it's not the nutfa, and the nutfa do not transform to be a cloth. Nutfa is simply very simple DNA message. We activate the egg of the women, have no blood, it is not a blood, and have nothing to do with the blood. And I want you to, in front of everyone.
Well, you don't really understand the process. You are not describing the process. You don't know it. I don't know what's your background, but let me tell you that I do have a PhD in cellular and molecular biology, and we have also with us, Dr. Moinuddin, who's also he's a doctor in, and he has a lot of extensive research on this issue. So usually what you're describing is totally out of your field. That I know that for sure from the way you're talking. That's one thing. Second is that you're trying to say that the Quran says so. Now we have two individuals in this room that we have the credentials, and we teach at universities, and we know that what's in the Quran is better. There's no better description. Now you want to go back and tell me this and this and this and this. No,
I'm not saying that.
Listen.
I am
sometimes it's better for you to listen.
I'm showing you a scholar.
Sometimes it's better for you to listen. I'm telling you, in this room here, there are two individuals who, on a day in, day out, teach this process at medical institutions. And what you are describing is wrong from a medical process. So don't try to say that that's what the Quran is saying. You're trying to put it in the Quran.
It's very clear, my dear. It's very clear. You don't want to read your scholars' explanation. You are trying. Okay, listen. How the little loop, became a flesh.
One at a time.
Yeah, I was saying you may also consider the time, and I know it's been 2 hours and 21 minutes. And instead of arguing, I think the audience should actually benefit from this if we could really have a sincere and intellectual debate. And I think it's getting too late right here in Memphis. I don't know about you all, but we would like, with your permission, to probably end it here, call it a day. And if you want us some other day, some other time, we will be available if you really call us on time, and also that we may have time to get ready for any type of discussion you would like your audience to hear. And right now I'm showing 10:21, and we started at 8 o'clock, and we took the responsibility to come to your show for 2 hours, and it is 21 minutes past. With all due respect, we would like to ask you, with your permission, if we could call it today and conclude, okay?
Okay. We can't force you to stay, guys. I'm glad that we have this conversation, and I hope nobody gets upset or angry. No insult to anyone. We are trying to prove our point, and you have the right to defend your faith. It's your faith, so nobody can blame you. Okay, and I'm glad to talk to you, and I hope we will talk again. Okay.
Well, I tell you guys, if we want to, Christian Prince, I know your schedule's pretty tight. And let me say, I do appreciate all of you all coming out tonight, calling in tonight and engaged. I think it has been a really very in-depth discussion, one that probably would need an extension, but time would not afford us that tonight. I can pick up again coming out tonight, calling in tonight and engaged.
I think it has been a really very in-depth discussion, one that probably would need an extension, but time would not afford us that tonight. I can pick up again at another time. This show airs at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do have a guest on the show next Friday night at 7 p.m. That would be on for probably about 30 minutes. So I don't know whether or not you guys are busy on next Friday night, but we can pick up another debate. We can pick up on when we left off at 8 p.m. next Friday night, if that's good with both sides. There again, I wouldn't want to superimpose. And we wouldn't go.
It's up to those gentlemen, and if they agree right away, we can schedule that day. For now, no problem.
Yeah.
Yes,
Next Friday,
we'd be willing to answer to your invitation anytime. But remember, you just called us yesterday, and we really did not want to make this in vain. That's why we came, and we have to cancel our class in order to come to the show, and which, of course, we really appreciate your invitation. But some other time, you have Dr. Muin's number. Call Dr. Muin because he's the one in charge with the media committee, and discuss whatever he agrees with you. We go with that.
The next Friday night at 8 p.m. the same time. Could you be available next Friday night at 8 p.m.?
No, let us see first, what they are planning to do, and because honestly, I don't care much for. With my respect to you, brother, I don't mean anything, but I don't care much for radio show or anything, because always it's in the same way. You show them the proofs, you prove them wrong, and still they don't want to read the proofs. I want to debate people who want to read my proofs, not to say to me, giving me a speech. So I prefer if we can get from their side somebody who will read what we will provide them, not somebody who will say to me, you are wrong, you understand it wrong. You cannot in Islam explain yourself from yourself. You have to give reference. You have to give the proofs, and those proofs have to be the scholars. I am not the one who is allowed to explain the Quran. He is not the one who is allowed to explain the Quran. All what we did in this debate is...
Okay, you're finishing this, or you giving another lecture now?
No, I'm just, you can go, brother. If you are in rush, it's okay. I'm just talking to the brother here.
No,
so
it seems like you're giving us another lecture.
If you want to have a debate, we have at least to agree to read the proofs, to read the reference. Isn't it sad that all the proofs I showed, none of you accept to read, simply because those proofs prove me right, prove you wrong, and this is why you rejected to read them.
Okay, when you want to tell us today, you have to tell us ahead of time, and you have to say what are your, the books that you're talking about and all of these things so that everything will be available and ready. You don't come in and just drop out of the blues and say, we want to do this and we want to do that. So
this is why it's the debate. I'm not going to my question.
Well, he can't give you, in all fairness to Chris Prince, he can't give you a transcript a week early of his rebuttals and debate and his talking points. I mean,
Mr. Moderator, I think it would be wise enough if we could call Dr. Muin tomorrow and discuss with him for any other debate, and whatever you agree with him, we go with that. We are so organized that we want things to follow really the way they should be. So please get in touch with Dr. Muin tomorrow as you have his number and discuss whatever issue you want, and then whatever he tells you will be fine with us as well, okay? That was very nice talking to you all, and you have a good night.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for coming. Thank you, Christian Prince. Chris Prince, for coming. I think you've done an excellent job there. I agree with you. If they're not willing to read the evidence, the proof that you give, then it's basically an offer in fertility there. But I'm going to try to schedule it next Friday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
If you want to do that, tell me from now so I know that's Friday. And I want the date for sure because, in your side it was showing wrong date. For me, if I did not open my email, I was not going to call you anyway. Because in your side it was saying tomorrow. You see, there's a mistake in there. So I thought, yeah. So for me, I thought, okay, there's no debate. So actually, we were lucky that to open my email in the same time of the debate start, the show start. So I told you. Otherwise, I would not know. So call, and by the way, take my advice. Those people, they will never read. They will do, this is what they play their games. When they are debating someone as an American, he did not know, they will give him all kinds of speeches. A scientist proved to us in America, in Japan, in Thailand, in Chicago, but all of this is false. This is your scholars. This is what he said. If you are really an honest man, read. And this is why you see they just want to run. Did you notice? They are the one who is asking for leaving, not us. Right. Because simply they could not make it. They are shocked. They are shocked. And by the way, I'm not.
I think you kind of took them for a ride.
Anyway, are you going to post the whole recording in the site?
The show. Yeah. For next Friday night.
No, I'm saying that the debate we have now is going to be posted.
Yeah, it's going. Once I hang up, once me and you are done, because we're still screening. We got 2 minutes left. But once I hang up, it's going to the system would save the file, and it will be posted. Probably in another 5 minutes, you'll be able to listen to it. Another 2 or 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. So people they can go and get. I want to say thank you for inviting me, and I hope you did enjoy.
I enjoyed it, man. I tell you, you're great.
Thank you. And you know where to find me, right? You know where to find me if you need me.
I'm going to set the time for 8 p.m. on next Friday night, and we'll just see what they say, okay?
Let me know. For me, I consider them they will not come because I can tell you from now, they are terrified. They saw something they are not ready for. This is why we start saying, we are not ready. He told us yesterday. And, a scholar in Islam, he does not need to be ready. You are not ready about knowing your God. You are not ready about knowing your book. Now you need to be ready. If you are not ready, why you show up? Who is forcing you? Who told you to come? Say I cannot.
Well, I think I contacted them on Wednesday there because, matter of fact, they just got my phone call back, but
anyway, it's an excuse for their loss. No problem. Anyway, brother, thank you very much. God bless you. And may the Lord support you in your mission. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Folks, that's going to end it on the Black Conservative Show tonight in our debate.